So once again, very good morning, everyone. So how are you all? So how is it going for you? How many of you have started preparation? Hmm? So if I started preparation, why should I come here? Right? Good. So those who raised your hands, like what did you start with? NCRT. So what is the full form of NCRT? National Council for Education, Research, Training. Okay. Now I'm just warming up, right? So before we start our session, okay. So NCRT is the first choice of yours for preparation. What next? What? Reference books. Okay. So Lakshmikant, Spectrum, Bipin Chandra. Very good. So then, okay. So now tell me how many of you are reading newspapers? So you're reading newspapers also, right? So that is also part of preparation. Okay, good. So myself, Vinay Kumar, right? So I am the founder of this institution. And also these people call me director. Like we don't have CEO, MD and all. So just to give some designation, so they call me director and I call myself as a director. So otherwise, every faculty, including I'm not a faculty basically. I'm mentor and a guide, and for some people, brother also, right? Who keeps on guiding you people throughout your journey. And there is a very good team of faculties and very good team of mentors, and then there is very good team of evaluators, and then there is very good team of content writers also, right? So everyone collectively we believe we don't have any kind of these positions, director, faculty and all. So we all like to interact with you on a regular basis. Faculties will regularly interact with you. So after the class, if you have any doubts, you can talk to them. And then there are mentors, like designated mentors. You will be given mentors within a week for every 30-40 students, or sometimes 40-50 students also. There will be a mentor to whom you can go with all of your problems, not so much of personal problems, but with study related problems. So that will also happen, like after like few months, people will go with personal problems also. But we prefer to address preparation related problems anytime. So mostly like how to improve your answer writing skills, how to improve your prelims scores, because I'll explain briefly what is the approach that we are having here. We will be giving you so many MCQs on daily basis, weekly basis there will be test. You'll be interested to improve your scores, skills. So how to improve those skills will be taken up by both me, faculty and mentors. So they will be addressing them. And there is this problem of consistency, right? So in this exam what I have noticed is that, so you can come and sit here, it's okay, like those who are coming late. So there is this problem of consistency. What is consistency? Can anyone define consistency? The word consistency. Without any break. Okay, fine. Then working constantly. So she's sitting now, suddenly she's answering already. Good. Regular approach. Being regular with your preparation, or whatever task you have taken up. Very good. So this is one of the major problem in this preparation. So what I have noticed is that this problem of consistency. So that is very consistent here. So people start with all the josh, motivation, and I am sure all of you have come with lots of hope. So we can all relate with you people, right? So once upon a time, like 10-15 years ago, we also used to be like you in some other institution, in some other city. So I understand completely your hopes, aspirations, ambition, dreams. So what is your biggest dream as of today? Hmm? What? So you should come from deep within. So it is not at ಏನಂತಾರಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೂರಿಲ್ವಾದು dream. What is your biggest dream? Hmm? No, I am not hearing anything. To become an officer. Okay. For some people it is IAS, for some people it is IPS, for some people Anyone Indian foreign service? No, Pakka local. Huh? Okay. So there is one person. Okay. So all of you want to become civil servants, basically IAS and IPS. So what you are dreaming is not a small dream, right? Measuring by any yardstick in the context of Indian society, the dream you are dreaming, the dream that you want to chase from today onwards, the dream that you want to see become reality going forward is not a small dream. Can anybody give one or two reasons like why it is not a small dream? Hmm? Lots of okay, lots of competition is there. That is why it is not a small dream. So that is also a right answer. What about others? Because it is Indian administrative service. Yes. So because it is Indian administrative, that is why it is a nice success ratio is less. Okay. What number of vacancies are? What was my question? Why? Why it is not a small dream? Right. So all of you are focusing on competition, right? Number of vacancies, and then very good. So she used the word responsibility, right? So the amount of responsibility that you are going to get as part of the job, right? So we don't use the word power. So during interview, you can come and sit here like for timing only for today's session. So the amount of responsibility is huge. We don't use the word power here, right? Many people use the word power, right? Especially after seeing the movie of Prithvi, like Kempe Gowda. So they see that I'm going to get lots of power to beat criminals, to beat uh, what looters of mines. So all those things. So it's not about power; it's more about responsibility. What we try to teach, what we try to suggest all the time here is that your focus must be on the process, right? While having your dream on your big responsibility, right? So never focus on the competition. As part of this journey, never focus on the competition. Never focus on the number of vacancies, right? The vacancy will always remain 150 to 180. I think in 2-3 years, IAS will increase to 200 to 220, the number of vacancies. So IPS is 200 right now, right? 180 for IAS. So it will go on increasing, but your focus must be on two things. One, on the process, right? So right now you have to imprint this particular statement that your focus must be on the process. Secondly, there must be this dream alive constantly. So the dream of becoming IAS or IPS, but with the goal of getting into that role of huge responsibility where you are given an unique opportunity. So I won't call it a chance, it's an opportunity to what? To serve, right? To serve society, to serve your people, and to correct any injustices, to create your own mark in the administration. There are people who have created their own models which have become examples for others to emulate. So there are plenty of opportunities where you will derive the utmost satisfaction, right? Not because of the perks you get, incentives, or the bungalow you get, but because of the amount of responsibility, the amount of actual work you can see on the ground, right? So every year, like past 7-8 years, I am seeing our team is seeing so many toppers walking out of this institution, and some of them are getting national awards, state awards for administration. So recently, Nandini KR, so got all India rank one. So was student of our core batch. So not classroom student. She was another core batch, only writing practice. So she had taken coaching from somewhere. She came for writing. She was awarded a national award for better implementation of Narega in the district of Ballari, right? So within that list there was another guy, Naveen Bhatt. So he had got, I think, rank all India rank 14 in 2000, same year, Nandini batch. So he also got award. So he came for writing practice and interview guidance from me. So when we see these people, they were like you. So there are photos where these people are sitting in classroom, and like now you feel like you are ordinary, you don't have anything, like you have only with you that big dream, right? And you have taken up chances, you have taken up certain risks, coming out of your home different districts to come and settle in Bangalore, especially girls. So you have convinced your parents, right? So right now sometimes that feeling of emptiness will be there, that you are nothing and you have nothing to show to the world. But if the focus is on the process, then we will see that you transforming yourself into a topper. So that is the beginning of the implementation, or that uh, donning that huge responsibility role. But many people think that becoming topper is the end, because the focus is always on the outcome, on the results. So two things happen when the focus is on the results. So you become topper and you think that that is the end of your journey, like success. You are already successful, right? So for many people it gets into the head that you have sacrificed so much, you have read so much, you have worked hard, and have become a topper. And then coaching institutions, society, everyone around you will, so bucket it is, that's right. So they will make you look like a demigod, right? So that gets into the head. The second thing that happens is that you sometimes forget your responsibilities, right? You feel like you are entitled, you are privileged. So there is another thing that happens with another set of candidates who are focused on the outcome. You start getting scared of the both the examination and the process itself, right? So for example, now I think you will not be able to relate that much. So if at all you had taken your university exams very seriously, right, all your engineering, medical exams, you will know that, right? So did you ever lose your sleep while before writing your university exams? No. Yes, sometimes. You got gold medal? No. No. No, those who might have lost sleep might have definitely got some medals, right? So who will lose sleep for university exams, especially last 2 years? I've seen people putting all the copies, then laptop, making it invisible, and then using WhatsApp and all. So in university, it was not the norm, taking exams very seriously. But here, what happens, for some reasons, people start taking it very seriously. So what is the reason? One reason, so you are not given any certificate or award or anything, right, for preparing for 1 year, right? So there is no purpose here at the end, right? And again, here people have to read every day. So there is no like semester exam, right? If you fail in one semester, like you can be pushed to another. It's not like that here. So it is, people start making it as life and death kind of situation, thinking that now I am graduated, right? Now I'm giving full time of preparation for the preparation. So if I don't clear, the society will look at me as what? Failure, useless, then loser. Yes, loser, and some other words are coming from back. So you people backbenchers, like always backbenchers, are from school, college onwards, right? So today there was no seat, that's why I went back, maybe, right? So some people are proudly saying yes. So they were always like first benchers. So what are the other reasons? Hmm? So where was I? Hmm? So you were called as failure, loser, unsuccessful, unemployed. Okay. Right. And then, do really people call you like that? Hmm? So as far as I have seen, nobody actually calls you that directly. Maybe indirectly, like if you have made enemies in your relatives, right? In your friend circle, right? If there are breakups, so those people will be very happy with all your failures and setbacks. But in reality, as far as I have seen, experienced, all this labeling is done by yourself. It is self-inflicted thing rather than from external somebody doing it to you, right? So because you are already intelligent, right? Like you are graduated, you can think on your own, right? So what happens? Emotions come into play here the moment you are not cracking this exam, because in university exam you don't fail, right? Right? Even in 10th, 12th, even school exams you have never failed. Suddenly failing here, it can be the mock test, scoring very low marks. It can be monthly test which we are going to conduct. After every subject, there will be full length. So here, like at Insights, we focus too much on outcomes, not like the philosophical outcome. So in terms of bringing best out of you through tests and other tools. So there are constant, every day there will be a small test, and every week there will be a test, every fortnight and every month. So if some people don't do well in these tests, both prelims and mains, so they take it to heart. They think that I used to be gold medalist in university, right? I used to be a topper there. I've never failed a test in my university. So suddenly, what is happening with me here? That I'm not able to repeat the same kind of performance in these tests. So some people take it into heart, and then things start falling apart for some people. What happens? They start thinking small, right? So IAS is not for me, and maybe I'll try some other examination. Some people get deviated, some people get distracted. So these small things will eventually start happening to you, right? But they shouldn't happen to you. They should never happen to you. They will never happen to you, provided again your focus is on the process. So I'm repeating again and again, the focus must be on the process. So what do I mean by this? Like, what did you understand by this? When I say focus should be on the process, what do you understand from it? Hmm? Okay. बस काम करके जा, फल की चिंता ना करना. Okay. So do your work, don't worry about the fruits. Okay. So any other interpretations?
Daily things must be.
So the focus must be on the daily tasks. Okay. Focus on what you are preparing. Okay. Then, so what is the process in your case? Now again I'll repeat. Okay. Now you people have come from various parts of some people from various parts of India and various parts of Karnataka and various parts of Bangalore also. Right. So all of you are gathered in this classroom right now. So with one aim of cracking this civil services examination. Right. So what is going on in your mind right now? Like whether you are listening to the class, or whether you are sleeping, or whether you are thinking about something else. So what exactly is happening in your mind? Like, what are you thinking right now? Hmm? You want to become. So all of you come with this hope that at any cost you have to crack this examination. So I'm 100% sure you are not here for cracking sub-inspector exam. No, right? Not KS exam. Maybe later, but right now not. Right? So the only goal is UPSC. And I will tell you that to crack this UPSC examination, there is a way forward. There is a method, right? So there is a method, there is a way forward, there is a framework. If you follow that framework, so that framework is nothing but the word I'm repeating, the process, right? So we have a process in place, right? And the process is what you need to follow dedicatedly. And you have to follow that process dedicatedly, keeping in mind that next 2 years you have got placed in a company, right? Assume that, like you believe that within you, that you are not unemployed, you are not useless, you are not a loser, and you are not failure or anyone, but you are someone without salary, somebody who is right given certain employment, right? That employment is nothing but preparing for this examination without worrying about anything else. I know for some people there is problem of money. I know for some people there is problem of other commitments. You may have to take care of your parents. You may have health issues. You may have sibling problems. Some back home there may be some problems. So everyone has some problem. The degree varies, but everyone has problems. So nobody is free of any problem. Now, if you treat this entire preparation as your job, and this idea of treating this entire preparation, from day one, listening to the class, writing answers, solving MCQs, going back home, reading NCERT, revising it, next day, coming, making notes, this continuation of this process, this idea of treating it as job, it is not mine. Like I got it from another topper. So we had like one guy sitting in the classroom like rank 5 Jaydev, right? So in 2019 he got rank 5. He was OGP 2019 student. Somehow he stuck with the institution. He graduated from National Law School, directly landed at Insights, enrolled to the classroom program. So there is Sudeep Sir, his mentor, and me. Like we both were his personal mentors. So he didn't go to any institution for anything, not even for mock interviews. He was not willing to go. So I had to tell him, you give mocks in other institutions. So in one of interactions we conducted here with him, he said that he basically treated this as a full-time job, right? So what do you do when you consider something as full-time job? Has anyone worked here in any company? Okay. So what do you do? You'll be there by 8 o'clock if you have to be by 8 o'clock, right? And then so whatever task is given to you, you will do it, and then you come back after you complete your that day's duties, responsibilities. So and then you come back home, right? You will either commute through your own bike or bus, and something you do. So why don't you take a break like 3 days? Why don't you feel low and stay at home and watch movies or like the serial killer series, bank robbery series, in one go? You won't do that, right? Like when you are working, why? Hmm? Because you are getting salary. Okay. Then commitment. So responsibility and commitment. Like why do you feel committed to that job? Because you have accepted it. Okay. Once you have accepted it, you continue to do it, right? So whether you like it or don't like it, you are going every day. So the reasons may be there may be a social life in the company, right? You may be liking a girl in the company or boy, I don't know, secondary. But the most important reason is that, right? What is that? Hmm? Not acceptance. Hmm? Anyone who has worked in these companies? Any company? Google, Amazon. Hmm? Fear of boss. Okay. No other options. Good. Deadline. Okay. So it's combination of all the reasons. There is no single word. So starting with the commitment itself. You are committed not only because you are going to get salary, it's because it gives meaning to your life. Right? That you are respected and you have that self-esteem, self-respect within you. It gives meaning to your day-to-day life. You can tell people that you are working somewhere. So that is one reason. Secondly, as he said, there is no other alternative. Right now, you don't have alternative. You may be having hobby or interest, but right now there is no other alternative. Into this preparation, you have to bring similar mindset. It's not easy, but if you bring that mindset, So that is what I witnessed in the case of Jaydev, right? So I had another student long ago in 2014, Neha Kumari. After that, he was the one in whom I saw that kind of commitment, right? That kind of clear thinking that this is the goal that I am pursuing. This is the institution. These are the people that I have trusted. I need to be consistent. To be consistent, I need to consider it as my full-time job, right? So he never judged anything, anyone, right? And so I wish. So I'll just have an email, right? I'll read. So not email from him. So he is sending students to take guidance from our institution, and then next year so many law students from National Law School came and joined here also. So from all the top universities, colleges, students are enrolling here. So one of them recently wrote mains, and he had taken our test series, and then he wanted guidance with respect to filling the detailed application form. You know what is DAF? We call it a DAF, detailed application form. What is it? Before the interview, you fill where you mention all your hobbies, interests, everything, right? So there, while reading them, of course, I don't want to reveal his name or any personal things. So I was like, so there are like 20, 30 achievements. So he was finalist in national, Kaun Banega Crorepati, and then the NDTV quiz winner, IDFC. Like there are like 3, 4 international quiz or something, and he is a doctor. Like so many things, like all kinds of Olympiads he has cracked. And so I was happy, not surprised. I used to be surprised like 2 years ago. Now I am happy that we are attracting those kind of students, because Jaydev was already brilliant, was already intelligent, trusted in the process here, right? So it sometimes happens that you may know more than a teacher also, right? So you may have so many extracurricular academic achievements that we can never think of, right? But leaving them aside, leaving his entire ego aside, right? Doesn't matter where he came from, who were his parents, he trusted the process. And then he started sending more people, and that is why one of the reasons why our ranks increased last year also. And this year also it will increase, because there are many students like him who have taken classes, mains test series, and they will also get very good ranks. And it is increasingly happening that within the institution we are getting more ranks now. So what I mean by it is, those who are joining the classroom program, then they are either in the first attempt clearing prelims or almost clearing prelims. So I am seeing that people who enrolled here 1 year before the prelims, those who gave the prelims, they are scoring in the range of 80 to 90. Some of them are clearing it also, right? So that's a very healthy trend. That's a very, so I cannot promise you that next year everyone will crack the examination. I will be very dishonest, right? So what we promise, I can promise here, is that we will do justice to the process, conducting classes regularly. Sometimes if the teacher is not well and all, small up and downs will take place, but on a largely the things will be normal, and we will keep on telling you to write answers from day one. So most other people don't believe that you can write answers from day one, but we here believe that you can write answers from day one, and you should write answers from day one. So there is no shortcut to success. Only if you improve your skills of answer writing, right, thinking on your own, able to comprehend things, the complex things you read and you listen, and if you are able to simplify them and put in your own words, if you keep on working on these things, the success will happen. So I was earlier telling there is a method to it. So many people call this uncertain public service commission, right? So definitely there is uncertainty with the examination, but there is a way to make it more certain going forward. So how do we make it certain? So we will ensure that you practice these many number of questions, so that the fear of prelims is removed, because our test series is one of the best test series available. So there is another test series and our test series, like 2 test series almost everybody solves in the entire India. So when you are doing them in the classroom environment, you will realize that right now your score is low, but you will go on improving it with the feedback of mentors and teachers in the class. So in the month of April or May, when you start giving these exams, you will know that whether you are clearing prelims or not based on the scores you will get in the test series. So if you start getting 100 plus in our tests by that time, by next April, then it is certain that you are going to crack prelims, provided you sleep well, right, one day before the exam, provided you maintain that calmness, coolness, because most of the times what happens, people lose calmness, they become anxious again because of focus on the outcome, that I must crack this prelims. So never tell yourself from day one to so coming days that at any cost you have to crack this examination. Never tell yourself, right? Focus one day at a time. And mains also, because you are doing answer writing from like 1 year before the next attempt. After prelims, 3 to 3.5 month gap will be there. There will be n number of tests, and with respect to answer writing, we keep attracting the best of the students here, and we have best of the mentors who will personally guide you, right? So for instance, like we have a topper like rank 100 something who benefited from the institution, who is guiding students here for time being, since he was like he's doing voluntarily because he got benefited out of gratitude he is doing. So like that, we have many toppers who keep doing that. So they keep telling you how to write better answers. So that will also make your mains certain. So we understand the competition because of All India presence, All India test series, and we'll tell you exactly who is writing the best in this test series and how you can reach or beat those answers. So you have to be in this process. You have to be willing to go through this rigorous process, right? It is not going to be easy for you. And then again, interview, I should tell you, last year like I personally took around 500 plus marks, right? For out of 2000 candidates, I only took 500 plus, not number of marks, for number of people, like 500 plus toppers, not toppers, like people who gave interview. Out of them, around 190 became toppers. Akshay Simha, right? So he was OGP student, classroom student like you, and guided him for interview as well. He scored second or third highest marks, second highest, I think 212, second highest marks in the, that was the first highest last year. This year it is the second highest marks. So there is certainty with respect to interview guidance also. So if you crack prelims, so we are very much fond of our OGP student, classroom students, right? So we give you extra attention, then the mains will be there. After mains, so this relationship, this support will continue even after you complete the coaching, right? So I never, even in my mind or even in dream, I think that those who have joined right now will cease to become students next April or May, or after next mains, right? So it might happen that you may not clear and you may need support. You are always welcome here, right? So we give you offer like free prelim test series, discounted mains test series, and free guidance. Like till you crack the examination, like we won't charge for guiding you. It can be crucial decisions, continuous answer writing guidance, right? You may write answers regularly, you may want to show them, you can avail them, right? So that is one thing that I don't know other, if other institutions are doing, like we keep doing it. And our USP at InsightsIAS is that we keep attracting senior students more and more. Maybe because of this policy, or maybe because of the quality and also our openness. So most of the people who have written mains, people who have given interviews, they usually don't walk into the institution and come again for answer guidance and all, but they keep coming because of quality faculty, mentors, and everything. Now everything comes down to one thing. Now we have set up, you have come here, all dreams, baggage, and everything. Now you have to make use of the available resources here, right? So in every orientation session, I have one question, right? One what do you call, enigma or kind of puzzle, right? That keeps haunting me. That why everyone who pays fees and enrolls to these classes do not avail, do not make use of the resources, right? For example, if I give 50 students to a mentor, so only 5 to 6 people will be regular with him or with her. So we have many mentors. So everyone will not go to them. So I haven't decoded it yet. So I can attribute reasons: they are distracted, deviated, maybe they have inferiority complex, maybe they haven't done the work, they haven't written the answers, maybe they don't want to show, or maybe they are very smart that they know everything or something. Maybe combination of all factors, but I don't see everyone, coming and making use of the facilities. The moment that happens, right? And we have resources. Like, don't worry that, like, so for me, like, because everyone comes, you may have to wait, but there are mentors and faculties, you don't have to wait so much, right? So they will be sitting here after the class, you can go and talk to them. The moment you make using the moment you start making use of, their talent, their experience, so the benefit is that you will see constant improvements, right? These constant improvements, incremental improvements, collectively will bring the result, right? But if you don't go to them, you never know that what kind of mistakes you are making, right? So this exam is not a rocket science. It's about reading NCERT textbooks. It's about reading any one newspaper, the Hindu or the Indian Express or Live Mint or something. So we will be having preparatory classes for you from today onwards afternoon for 1 week, where we will tell you how to read newspapers, how to make notes, right? How to read textbooks, right? So how to follow the timetable, so that you properly understand the entire process. So those classes will take place. So those things you have to follow here. So it's not a rocket science in the sense that all of you are equally capable, everyone sitting in the room. It is about how you make use of the things, how you take these things into consideration, right? That ultimately will decide the outcome, right? So there is so much to talk, so I don't want to talk. Like, our faculties will speak for like 5 to 10 minutes. There is Sudeep Sir, Pradeep Sir, Nikhil Sir, they have come here. So anyway, they'll be available. So I don't want to boast that we have one of the best faculties. You will only see that once they start teaching you. You will realize that so they are one of the best available here. And I welcome you to Insights IAS. uh, all of you are motivated. Did you get clarity? Did you also get doubts? You have doubts, right? You should have doubts. You should always have doubts in your mind. So without doubts, you will never make any progress, right? So random one or two doubts I'll just address if you really have doubts. No doubts, fine. Okay. So again, where was I? Hmm? So why side I keep forgetting the things. Huh? So it was not about motivation, it's about giving you clarity the entire session. So we have to tell you the truth, right? When we say it is not a rocket science in terms of what you have to reproduce in the examination, right? Reading what you have to read and what you have to reproduce, but it is for then climbing Mount Everest or something, in terms of preparation, the focusing on the process, because so many things come into play here. The one who is very strong, the toughest, right? So like somebody, if you have been to gym, they make you exercise core core exercises. They want to strengthen your core so that entire body gets the benefit out of it, right? So in your core, like, you should have that burning desire constantly, that at any cost, like, I have come here, I'll do justice to preparation, right? Whether you clear or not, that is secondary, but getting the satisfaction that you are doing the right thing without wasting your parents' money, without wasting the loan you have taken, everything, that you are doing justice to every penny that you have invested here, right, is the most important thing. And for that, you really need to be tough. I mean, you have to elevate yourself from ordinary to extraordinary in terms of mindset, attitude. The one with right attitude is the one who easily cracks this examination. Now, luckily, that is what this examination is all about, right? In the interview, they will see that if you have right attitude, your humility, your confidence, other values, right, your knowledge, if everything is correct, so they will see that they will really reward you. That is what Akshay Sima and all, we were all like, when we were interacting with him, we were telling him, you will definitely get 200 plus, right? So it is not that we make them, we transform them. It is basically you do it to yourself. And there is an opportunity which we give you, right? You make use of that. And we validate that. We reinforce the faith that you are actually topper to be, right? So, or officer to be, right? So, wish you all the best and enjoy this process. Never take any burden. For people, for extreme cases, we have mental coach also, dedicated. You can speak to her. She's excellent trainer. She addresses psychological issues and all. And then, of course, we have mentors. But I sincerely want you people not to go in that territory, right? So you have to keep yourself happy, engaged, cool, calm, right? The attitude of college in terms of, being cool and calm, but what is required for this examination, you have to keep doing it, right? So once again, I think third or fourth, wish you all the best it is. So again, wish you all the best, and I hope these people have taken few photographs here. So we'll see in those photographs future toppers, either in 23 or 24, right? Which we can proudly display. So it's a wonderful journey, basically, to see somebody who is sitting here, right? Then going on to become officer, and another 20-30 years you will be, handling big thing. You'll change the education policy of India. You'll change agriculture policy. You'll change health policy, right? So for a whole nation, for billion people. That is why I use the word extraordinary, right? So wish you all the best. Thank you. So Sudeep Sir, so he will speak to you. He'll be teaching geography to you and answer writing skills as well. Okay. Welcome, Sudeep Sir.
Good afternoon, guys. Yeah, my name is Sudeep. As Sir told, I'll start off with talking about Jaidev itself. Okay, because he's the he used to sit like this. He started off like this for prelims, mains, interview. Not even for a fraction of his preparation, he believed in other institutes. He believed in other materials, or he has done anything different from what we have told. Okay, so see, how many people believe that you have come to an exam where you have to study everything under the sun? Do you think this exam is about studying everything under the sun? That is the biggest myth that this so-called coaching industries have created. Okay, there is nothing called studying everything under the sun. That doesn't make sense also. Okay, you don't have to study medical engineering. You don't have to study, as Sir told, rocket science, or you don't have to study something technological. The point I'm trying to make is, whenever people say in this exam you have to study everything under the sun, it is only that fear that they are trying to instill in you, and only the insecurity that they are trying to instill in you to make sure that you are dependent on them. Getting it? How many people feel current affairs is very important for this exam? Frankly, how many people? I will show you many toppers who have not even studied one day of newspaper. Okay, you will, and I will show you them. Okay, we have gone through a lot of toppers. They have different strategies, but current affairs is, yes, you have to study current affairs. I'm not telling you will not study current affairs. It is not the deciding factor at all to become IAS or IPS. Are you getting it? Current affairs in prelims. Do you people know the examination pattern here? How many people have gone through how the skeleton of this exam looks? How many people know that there are 3 levels in this exam at least? You know that, right? There is prelims, mains and interview, correct? Now, in prelims, out of 100 questions, 10 to 15 questions come from current affairs. Okay? In mains, out of 20 questions, general studies, I'm talking about general studies, out of 20 questions, 3 questions come from current affairs. Okay? Now, 10 questions in prelims, 3 questions in mains. For this, you people will study the entire year on only current affairs. Are you seeing the difference? Why is this happening? Why do you think you people are studying only current affairs the entire year? Because you have that insecurity in you. Okay, because you feel that by studying current affairs, you're trying to gain something very new in this exam and you're going to stand apart in this exam, which is false. Okay, the reason why I started with this is there are a lot of such myths that keeps running around in this particular so-called road or in this industry. Okay, studying everything under the sun, current affairs. For one particular subject, there are so many amazing books that you have to read to get that exposure, depth in the subject. Getting it? All this are only to keep you insecure and only to keep you attached to books. All right. So coming back to the J-wave point I told you, why did that person, in his first attempt was given when he was in college, and that was given without any preparation, just to test the waters. Okay. So in his second attempt, he came into admission year and he was able to crack this exam in that attempt itself with All India rank 5. What was the difference? The difference was only simple. The difference was he believed in the program. He believed in what we told blindly. He never, I'm not telling you, don't question us. Don't question the approach. Okay, a lot of people here, I'm pretty sure, a lot of people here will get a little frustrated and, they'll get irritated because we don't spoon feed. Okay, we don't tell, come to the class and we tell you, okay, write down. And I start reading out the sentence, you keep writing down. After that, I close the book, I go back to my house, you go back to your house. This happens in Delhi. Okay, this is the approach Insights wanted to change. Okay, anyone have gone to Delhi? Have anyone been exposed to the way Delhi teaching is done? You are not supposed to talk to the teacher. You will not even talk because there are 1,000 people who will be sitting there. Okay, so the teacher will come, the teacher will start dictating, you will start writing, and that person will dictate in such a fast pace that 90% of people will not even be able to keep up with the pace. After the dictation is done, the lecturer moves off, you move off to the next batch or next subject. This is how the working in Delhi happens. Okay, when you go and ask them, why is this? Why have we not been able to talk to the faculty, or why is there no explanation? The only thing they say is UPSC is all about writing a lot faster. Okay, so we are making you practice it. Okay, but the trends have changed now. Okay, of the last 5 years, it is not all about only writing. It is about conceptual clarity. Okay, so we in this institute are come up with such an approach where, as Sir told, it is all about pushing you to the limits and trying to make sure that your whatever potential you have, the aptitude you have in yourself is brought out. Okay, that is what we'll be doing. And in that endeavor to do this, we will not try to spoon feed you. We cannot spoon feed you, because if we spoon feed you, you will not come out of your shell. Okay, you will not show your true potential. Yes, that will again make you a little frustrating, but that is how this journey has to be. Okay, so at the end of the day, the conclusion that I'm trying to make is, please, two things: don't believe in the myths that you see in the internet, and don't believe in the myths that you're going to hear in this road when you're coming to the institute. You will see a lot of them. Okay, that is the first thing. The next thing is, see, how many people think that the demand of this exam is intelligence? How many people think if you are the most intelligent person, as Sir told, you might have been the gold medalist in colleges. Do you think that assures you that you will clear this exam? Definitely not, because intelligence is not the criteria for your selection. If intelligence was the criteria, UPSC would have kept a parameter that only IITs and IIM students should apply for this exam. Yes or no? As simple as that. Then why is it that the UPSC is not doing that? Because knowledge is only one part of this exam. Okay? Yes, exactly. Knowledge is one part of the exam. What is the rest of the parts of this exam is what you are going to learn in the next 1 year. Okay, as people keep saying, UPSC or your training for becoming an IAS has started from today. Okay, your training for becoming an IAS does not start once you go to Missouri. It starts from today. A lot of people will start suffering. You will be frustrated. You have to make sacrifices. Your friends are going out in the weekends, you are not allowed to go out. Getting it? You have to start making sacrifices, and that is where the training starts. You will face a lot of problems, you will face a lot of failures. Get used to this. As Sir told, the most important criteria for clearing this exam, this time or next time or whatever time you may clear, is attitude. Okay? That never to give up attitude and always keeping motivated. Getting it? So, the parameters of what are required for this exam, you will learn over the course of next few days, because you will get oriented over the next few days. But knowledge is one such part where it is not solely dependent upon. Are you getting this? Now, when I'm writing an answer, a lot of people will not write an answer. Why? A lot of people, I'm telling you, sir told that you have to start writing the answer from first day. That is what we support in Insights. But 90% of you will not write an answer. Why? What is that fear? Fear? Fear that you write bad answers. Okay, that is the greatest, problem that we have. See, when you're starting out to do something, will you be good or bad? Then why are you having a completely different criteria for answer writing? So, if you're starting out, just like how if I give you a bicycle and tell you to ride the bicycle, will you be bad or good? You will fall. You will be it will be very difficult for you. The same thing happens here also. Why are you changing the criteria here? So, when we tell you to write, so just write. Why are you expecting yourself to write a good answer or a better answer? Are you understanding this? So, when that attitudinal change should come. Getting it? That attitudinal change that I am going to write a bad answer. Obviously, I will. It is not like you're asking a baby to run an 100-meter race. It cannot run. It has to crawl. Okay, it has to learn to stand up, walk on its legs, and then it will run. That is the same thing with you also. Your degree answer writing is completely different. Okay, answer writing and essay writing here is completely different. But that doesn't stop you from writing. Write the worst answer that you can. Write the worst essay that you can. But write. That attitudinal change is what is needed. Getting it? This doesn't happen. I'll tell you one more attitudinal change. When you're reading a book, okay? When you're reading, let us say you've taken NCERT and you have started reading. You people are reading with so much of pressure in your mind to remember everything. Aren't you? How many people are reading, already started reading? Okay? How many people are facing that pressure that the moment you're reading, after learning a chapter, you're feeling that I don't remember anything? You're feeling that, right? The reason is because your degree orientation is still running in your mind. Okay? Because in your degree, you're doing the studies in the last few days and you're just by-hearting the things and trying to retain it in your memory. That attitude is still persisting, or that spillover of that attitude is what is making you feel that you're not understanding or you're not able to remember anything. That attitude should change. Okay? You should learn to enjoy your NCERT reading. You should be overwhelmed by the information that you're getting. You should try to understand the information what they're telling. Are you understanding this? This change in the attitude, where you change from trying to memorize to change to learn to know it, learn to enjoy it. This will make the studies more, appropriate or more effective. Are you understanding this? That is why this exam and its preparation and its approaches have certain criteria that you have to learn, and it is solely dependent on not knowledge. Okay? If you have in your mind that let us say that you people are there. Let us say there are 300 people there. If anyone, if you think that I am the most intelligent person, I will write such an answer that my answer is standing apart from rest all of them. By the end of this year, I will study like anything. Okay, I will study so much that I will write an answer in such a way that no one should write an answer like me. You are not going to clear this exam. Okay, you will not clear this exam. Okay, so there are certain parameters that you have to learn for what is required in this exam, and we'll teach you that parameters. Okay, and that is where you have to stand upon. Okay, so that is the second thing. The third is, a lot of people may come talk, not only here, you may listen to a lot of other people in the internet and so-called and so forth. Don't start a cult. That is, don't start worshipping someone, don't become a fan of someone, don't do these things. There are only two things that will help you clear this exam, and let these two things be in your head always. These are your celebrities, these are your masters, these are the only two things that will always be in your head, and believe only these two things, nothing else. And there are two things, one is your syllabus copy and another is your previous year question paper. Okay, these are the only two things. So you will take the syllabus copy and previous year question paper, stick it in your room, and that will be your guidelines. Some person will say, I have deciphered UPSC, I am the best, I will tell you what to do. Don't believe anyone. Okay, always make sure that if whatever some people tell is making sense with the syllabus and previous year questions, then you go ahead with it. Getting it? So these are your two guidelines, guys. Go today, download the syllabus, download the question paper, and keep looking at it. I'm not telling memorize it. Okay, keep looking at it. Keep looking at it again and again and again. For the next 3 months, you are going to keep looking at it every day. Okay, you will live with it. Are you getting it? So these are the only two things. How to make it effective is over the next few days that I myself will be taking the session on the tomorrow and day after, where I'll teach you how to go about interpreting the syllabus and how to make sense of it. But this is all you have, the syllabus and previous year question paper. If you don't analyze these two, then you're already in a wrong route. See, if I tell you to go from one point to point A to point B, okay, there are two people. I'll tell her and him to go to from point A to point B. I'll give her GPS, I'll not give him GPS. Who's going to reach first? Okay, the person with GPS. The syllabus and previous year questions are your GPS. Okay, so see, I'll tell you one more addendum to this. How many people are here from IIT and IIMs? No one? No issues. Look, a lot of people will get in. The people from IITs and IIMs will start joining in, and we have mentored both kind of students. Okay, do you know the difference between people coming from these so-called elite institutions and yourself? These are not elite. They have been given the tag of elite, but there is a difference. You know what is the difference? You know what's the difference between them, the elite institution students, and this normal degree and other institutions? The difference is about planning. That is the only difference. The difference is not in intelligence. They are not more intelligent than you, but they are well prepared and well planned than you for sure. If I tell them, let us assume that their optional is, let us say, X. Okay, they have taken, let us say, medical science as their optional. Okay, now medical science is the one. Let us say law optional. Okay, we'll take Jaydev's example, law optional. Now if I go to Jaydev and ask, okay, so Jaydev, in law optional, how many chapters are there? Okay, he will tell you the names of the chapters. Even before he has started the preparation of it, okay, he will tell you the names of the chapters. And if I tell Jaydev, in the last 5 years, from chapter 1 of law optional, how many questions has come? He gives you like this. These are the topics, sir, from chapter 1, from where the questions are coming from the past 5 years. This data is there in his head, in his fingertips. If I go to him and ask, okay, Jaydev, so you know prelims. Prelims has so many different subjects. So tell me, from the last 5 years, geography, how many questions are coming and how are the questions? The answer comes like this. Because that person has taken the last 5 years and he has observed it again and again and again, the previous year questions, to understand what the subject demand is. Are you getting this? 90% of the people here, even today, after telling this so much, will not do this. Why? Because they are lazy. Anyway, the lecturer will do. You know, even when I tell, go and analyze previous year questions, how many people will go and buy some book that is made ready-made Arihant book? 90% of the people will go buy that ready-made Arihant book, which is segregated topic-wise. Don't make that mistake. Don't make things ready-made. If you want your preparation to be going in the right direction, you always have to make sure that you do it on your own. It always has to be painful. It always has to be frustrating. Getting it? So take the last 5 years paper. Okay? Take, let us say, 2020 paper. Start marking. Okay, this question is from geography. This question is from history. This question is from polity. Mark all the 100 questions. After marking all the 100 questions, segregate the questions into different subjects, your own and for the last 5 years. Okay, if you do this exercise for the last 5 years for prelims exam, let us say, okay, if you have done this exercise for last 5 years for prelims, you will not go to anyone and ask how to study that subject at all. If you do it on your own, you will not even come here. You will know exactly what UPSC wants and what to read. That is the difference between our students and the so-called elite people who are coming and studying. The only difference, they know what they are getting into. We don't care what we are getting into. We just want to be IAS. Okay, we want to be IAS, that's all, sir. In 1 year, I want to be IAS, sir. I have a lot of commitment, sir, so I want to become IAS, sir. Tell me what subjects are there, I don't know, sir. But I want to be IAS, sir. My mother and father are waiting, sir. Okay, this is wrong attitude. This is going to put yourself in more and more pressure. When you're studying, if you keep thinking, I want to be IAS, I want to be IAS, I want to be IAS, nothing will go. Okay, Sir told, trust the process. The process is nothing but having targets. So let us say the next 2 months, 3 months, you're studying polity. Polity is your process. Polity is what you have to be. Polity is your universe. Becoming IAS is not your universe. Getting it? So you are going to study polity and always study polity. That's all. Okay, there is Lok Sabha, there is Rajya Sabha, there is President, there is Speaker. That is all will be running in your mind. I will become IAS. That person resigned. Punjab Aap won. Okay, these things will not be there. And unfortunately, most of the people, that thing will be running. Okay, they are the ones who will be drinking coffee outside. For sure. I hope you people will not fall into that category. Okay, but that is what will happen. Okay, so be your own masters. Don't believe in someone. Don't follow any cult. There is no celebrity here. Okay, I love that sir. He is God or she is God. Whatever they say, I'll do. Nothing like that. Okay, only God in the exam that you're taking up, the only God is syllabus and your that previous year question paper. If you lose out, okay, no one can save you. Are you getting this? I gave you just an example of prelims, but you have to do it for your mains, you have to do it for optionals. Okay, so a lot of people will come up. The next batch, I mean, you people will now start having that so-called dilemma of which optional to choose. You will come to us. So when I ask them which optional, sir, shall I choose PubAd or shall I choose something else? Okay, political science or Kannada or whatever. When I tell them, have you analyzed the previous year paper? Nothing will come out. Sir, my friend told, sir, this is easy. My friend told, sir, that is, why are you banging? How can your friend tell you what to take? You decide what to take. Okay, you download the syllabus, you download the previous year question, see if it is making sense. Getting it? You make the research if notes are available, how the lecturer is going to teach the subject, and then take a call on which option to take. Getting it? This is where we fail to do. They do it. The so-called people from elite institutes, they take that extra effort to do these things. When it comes to studying, you are on par with them. But these X factors is where you people fail. You don't want to do. Because from our education, so-called educational institutions, we have been spoon-fed. What textbooks to read, what to take, even the so-called degree. How many people are engineers here? Why did you take engineering? Even I am. But I know why I took. Simple as that. This is how we have been fed. We have been constantly bombarded with data to only follow the herd mentality. And that is what we are going to do here. So you'll go out, that person will say, read Lakshmikant, you will also read Lakshmikant. That person will say, do this, you will also do this. Current affairs, that book is amazing, you will also take that. This is what you fall in that vicious cycle of doing these things that are not required for the exam. Hence, you still feel that current affairs is everything. Getting it? This is the problem. Get away from that. So what are the two things that you will always have in your head? Syllabus and previous year question papers. Okay? So that's the next thing. I'll not take up too much time because I have some faculties waiting here. Because I'll be dealing with you people tomorrow and day after, I'll just finish it in a few things. See, someone told success ratio is less. Success ratio is not less. Okay? This is again all the paraphernalia or the fear created. 1 million people apply. Out of that, only 1,000 will get selected. Bakwas hai ye. See, 50,000 people are the serious candidates. Only 50,000. Okay, 50,000 people are serious candidates. Out of 50,000, 10,000 people are getting into prelims. That is, they are going to write mains. Every year, average. Sometimes 9,000, sometimes 11,000. I'll take an average of 10,000 out of this 50,000 who are going to write mains. That's 20% success ratio. The success ratio is not less. It is just the fear. Okay, 1 million may, see, 1 million is 10 lakhs. Out of 10 lakhs, 7 lakh people will not write the exam only. Okay, 3 lakh people will write. Out of the 3 lakh, 2 lakh are writing only because their parents are telling them to write or girlfriends and boyfriends are telling them to write. Okay, so then comes this 1 lakh. In this 1 lakh, 50,000 understand the demand, 50,000 do not understand the demand. That 50,000 who do not understand will anyway not clear. Only the 50,000, the game is only with 50,000. Okay, so the success ratio is actually high. Don't believe in that fact that there is very less success ratio. Getting it? The last thing is, see, as Sir told, this exam is about attitude. There are two things that I'll tell now. This exam is all about mindset. Okay? There are 3 levels in this exam: prelims, mains and interview. All the 3 requires a little bit of different mindset. Getting it? So I'll just give you a brief, I'll take just 5 minutes, sir. Prelims, mains and interview. Now see, these 3 levels require 3 different types of mindsets. Okay. Now when the toppers come, what will they tell you? When the toppers come, what will they tell you? They are the biggest liars. Okay. And they are students like you, they are genuine. But the moment they become toppers and they come on stage or they come on front of the TV, something happens. Okay, they forget that they are addressing the next aspirants who wants to become them. They start trying to talk to the crowd. So in that endeavor to talk to that mass crowd, they're misguiding you people. Okay, so they say follow integrated approach. I used to read 2-3 newspapers every day. Nothing they used to do. Okay, I have seen them. All right. I don't make notes. I study only textbooks. I am used to it. All this is nonsense. Okay, 99% of toppers make amazing notes. Okay, we have all the notes. So we know how they make it. So what is integrated approach? Integrated approach itself is a myth. There is nothing called integrated approach. See, how can you study for interview by studying Lakshmikant? Okay, I mean Lakshmikant means there's a textbook. How can you study for interview or personality test by studying polity? Getting it? Every prelims, mains and personality test has its own requirements. Okay, personality test, as Sir will deal with very aptly. He is the best in this country, so you don't have to worry about it. When it comes to mains, it is all about analysis. How critically can you think? Okay, so if I call someone and tell them to talk about migration in India, okay, how are you analyzing migration in India? That is what mains, the demand of mains is. If I tell someone, talk about poverty in India, sir, poverty is, sir, no food, sir. Okay, that is not poverty from social angle, poverty from economic angle, poverty from different mindsets. Okay, this way of looking at a particular issue from different angles is what the demand of mains is. Okay, if migration is happening in India, what are the push factors? What can be the pull factors? What is it that is attracting migration? What is it that's pushing the people away from it? Analyzing this is what is about the demands of mains. If I take prelims is all about conceptual clarity, guys. How strong is your basics? Okay, how strong your basics is the reason how you will clear this exam. I mean, is the reason if you will clear prelims or not. For example, one of the statement, I'll tell you, these are all live examples. You can go to the previous year question and check. One of the statements in the prelims exam was National Institutional Infrastructure Fund, NIIF. I forgot the full form. NIIF has so many lakh crore rupees in its corpus. This was a statement. Okay, a lot of people, sir didn't teach me. I have not read this in this book. If you calmly look at the statement, that so much of money that they have written is more than GDP of India. Okay, how can a corpus within India be more than GDP of India? Understanding this. So the exam is not only about knowledge. The prelims exam is all about that conceptual clarity. Okay, I'll give you one more exam. Barren Island is 250 kilometers to the east of Andaman and Nicobar. Okay, or I mean 250 kilometers to the west of Andaman and Nicobar. All right. Now, a lot of people who are reading the statement, you would have studied Barren Island, don't worry. Okay, but the moment you're reading the statement, is it 250 or 249? Okay, is it 250 or 300? Do you think UPSC will test you there? UPSC doesn't care whether it is 300 or 200. UPSC is just asking you a presence of mind. If you just know that Barren Island is not to the east, it is to the west. I'm sorry, not to the west, to the east. That is all is enough. Okay, if you know the GDP of India, you can answer that question. All right, this is how prelims game is played. So the 3 different levels that you have in this exam demands 3 different ways of your preparation. Okay, that is what you are going to learn, and that is what you are going to keep, improving upon. Getting it? Prelims is all about conceptual clarity. Mains is all about your analytical skills. Interview is all about your personality. Okay, so these 3 are the ones that you have to master. Finally, I will conclude just by telling that you have come to a right place. All right, there are some approaches that you may not like of insights, like we don't spoon feed you people. All right, we always make sure that you do on your own what needs to be done. All right, but please make sure that you believe in this program and you will reach your end goal. All right, so thank you guys. Okay, so we have Nikhil Sir, who is a faculty of polity as well as political science and international relations. So Sir will be talking for a few minutes. All right.
Thank you, Sudeep Sir, and thank you, Vinay Sir, for the opportunity. So I think already Vinay Sir and Sudeep Sir has had most of the things. I won't be able to add much, but only few things regarding what everybody is stressed about this exam is what is the main thing which you need to clear this exam? What is the major thing? What is the major? Is it motivation? No, motivation will be there for 2 days. For example, you can watch Ravi Chandra's video 3 times, but 4th day again you have to come to reality, right? Motivation alone does not help things. Beyond motivation, what is required? But there are hundreds of people who are disciplined. Every day they come at 8 o'clock morning. Everybody has desire. Everybody are consistent. You need to have a strategy. Okay. Now I think the next person will be speaking is Pradeep Sir. He's modern history faculty. When he'll teach you, he'll be teaching something regarding Santal rebellion. Some of you would have read, some of you have not read. Now if you look back, Sudeep Sir told analysis is required in everything. What do you mean by analyzing? Why do we read history? Why do we know about Santal rebellion? What is the use by knowing now? Right? You read about British rule in India. Why we have to know what happened? Why is it that we have to know the past? Because history teaches you many lessons. And Santal rebellion is one which teaches you very important lesson, not only with regarding to Indian national movement, but your day-to-day preparation. Who are these Santals? They were a group of tribal. They were living in Rajmal hills, and there are 2 leaders called as Sido and Kano. And they had their own issues with the British. British wanted to interfere in their forest laws, etc. And these people were trying to resist it. Now what happened? Santals, they accumulated the other tribal groups also. They told we are 30,000 in number. And British is an ordinary force of 3,000 people. So they are no match for us. And the Sido and Kanu also told, God is there to protect us. He'll protect us from the bullets of the British. Then the war happened. What happened in the war? The British ruthlessly suppressed the Santals. Why were the British able to ruthlessly suppress them? Simple reason, Santals didn't understand how colonialism worked. Neither the Santals were equipped with themselves of taking on a modernized force. So same thing, if you're trying to attend this exam, another book there, I have time, my parents are ready to fund me, it's not going to work unless you have a strategy. Part of the strategy, you have to know the enemy well. I'm not telling UPSC is the enemy here, but you have to know the examination well. And Sudeep Sir actually rightly told one thing is that you need lot of common sense, I say, rather than knowledge. Because there is this one joke I think most of you would have heard or you would have known. There were 2 friends, best friends, okay, from very young age, from nursery till they cleared engineering. One was very smart, the other was opposite of that, equally dumb in that regard. But one thing is that their name also in attendance used to always come one after the other, and both the times the smart fellow used to show the not so smart fellow answers in the exam, and they were able to clear at every stage. And the final D-Day arrived when campus interview was there. So this dumb fellow was pretty sad. He told, now how can I do an interview? You are going to pass the exam. So I told you, don't worry. Even in interview, my name is after your name. So I'll go inside the interview. I've asked the, how the interview process is happening. They're asking the question. So I'll tell you the answer once I come out and you tell the same answer to them. So he told, okay, fine. It will work out well. So the smart fellow went inside and they asked him the first question, when did India get independence? He's pretty smart now. He told, sir, the revolution started in 1857. Finally, it happened in 1947. They were told, bahut badhiya, very good, very nice. Second question they asked, name any one freedom fighter in India. He told, hundreds of them are there, whom to name? I can't name one like that. They told, you are very intelligent man. Third, they asked, what is the cure for AIDS? And his reply was that research is going on, they have not yet found out. So he came out, he has to go within 5 minutes. He told, these are the answer I told, you also go answer. Dumb fellow does not know to think. He went, they asked him, when were you born? He told, sir, the process started in 1857. Finally, it happened in 1947. They told, oh my God. And they told, who is your father, man? Who is given birth to you? He told, hundreds of them are there. How can I pinpoint at one person? Finally, they told, this fellow has lost it. And they told, have you gone mad? Told, research is going on, still they are yet to confirm it. So what I mean to say is that if you don't understand and read, if you are only a rote learning person who by-hearts everything what is there, it's not going to work out in the exam. I think Sudeep Sir also gave you 2 examples about questions, how they are asking and what they are testing you. For common people, what they think is that this exam is about, I have to know everything. You need not know everything. All you need to do is that you have to start making your mind work, or you have to observe close things in that regard. So that is very much important to find success in the exam. And I think Sudeep sir already told everything clearly, that what is required for prelims, mains and interview. I won't add much into it. One thing this process will build you, end of the day you succeed or not, it will transform you as an individual in that regard, because you have to let go of fear. Okay, let go of fear means fear of failure. Why I tell that is very much important, especially I think Vinay sir will guide you in interview stage. Many people fail this exam because of fear. Fear of what? If I don't get through, what my future will be. If I don't get through, I don't get a good girl in life, etc. If I'm not an officer, nobody is going to offer me a girl, etc. These are all the fears or insecurities will keep you bounded. And when there is too much of insecurity, natural solution will what? You'll go to God, right? You'll go to God, you plead to God. God, I have studied so hard. I have studied day and night in that regard. I have sacrificed everything, but still I am not passing. Why you are so harsh on me? See, God is not harsh on you, but are you doing the right things which are required for the exam? So I will tell you only one last thing. When I went to interview, my thing, I got my interview call in my later attempts. I was very desperate that, I had to succeed at any cost. So when interview came, I think that time Insights was, still a startup. It was growing along. But somebody I never gave mock interviews. I never came to Vinay Sir or something. So I was on my own world. I was telling, no, I'll do well in interview. So I went to my astrologer and he told, you will become 100%, you will become this time. But there's only one problem. You have Sade Saad going on. In last moment, it might give you heart to you. So you visit all the temples. You won't believe, there was I think 2 months time for my interview. 1.5 months I just roamed every temple. In Tamil Nadu I went to some Navagraha temples, is there 9 temples. And finally they told, he told, before you go to, in Dolpur house, you have to stand in a queue. Before you go to, he told, I don't remember, this thing called, in Kannada they'll tell Sasve. Okay, Sasve or something he told. He told, Adana east or west direction, you have to throw it. Okay, then you go to the interview. And I did that. Actually, I did that. I had a friend, I told, you cover for me, I'll throw it in front of Dolpur house in that regard. But I just got 140 in the interview. Okay. One of the reason is that I did not consult anybody. I did not give any mock interviews. Neither I met any person like Vinay Sir at that point of time. And there was no guidance in that regard. So it was blindly having no strategy and trying to approach. So end of the day, to summarize everything, one, you need to have a strategy. Second one, you need to have self-confidence. God will help and luck will favor if you are brave enough in that regard. And third one, you have to come out of this insecurity in that regard. What is going to happen? Maximum what is going to happen, life is not going to end. There are many other things in life you can do, greater things in life. Okay. But now given this opportunity, you make best use of it. And all I can say is that you have come to the best place in that regard. Okay, best place, I can say Insights currently is one of the best academies in India. Okay. With this, I wish you all the best for your journey. I hope most of you cross the line and I want to see you here next time as toppers. Now I'll hand over it to Pradeep Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil Sir. Hello, namaskara. Okay. So, from Monday, I will be meeting on a regular basis. So probably this Friday also will be meeting on how to choose your optionals. I'll be the one taking up the session. Like Vinay Sir, Sudeep Sir, Nikhil Sir, they have covered almost every aspect that is needed for your preparation. Like they have not left out any important thing. If I just start speaking now, it will be like a summary of whatever they told. So it will be kind of a revision. So it's better when I was standing there, I was hoping them to at least leave out one point. And luckily for you, unluckily for me, they did not leave out any. Right? So, but still, I cannot just greet you and go back. So, I found something. Fine? Something. Because I'm an engineer. So, the first thing, plenty of laughter is about to come, don't worry. So most of my classes filled with laughter, don't worry. Starting with the basics. Right? There are a lot of big books available in the market. If you go to the bookstore, initially, like I think in coming days it will be weighed up. I mean, the books, it will be defined by the weights. So when I started my preparation, all of them were this big, and now this big. It's not about buying the number of books. It's not about buying the number of books. It's about starting with the basics. Start with NCERTs. NCERTs are not the new things. Fine. NCERTs are the ones which you have already studied during your school days. And if you are from state syllabus, don't worry. Go back and read those books itself. It doesn't matter. Like all the books contains almost the similar set of information. Fine. Just have to make sure your basics or fundamentals are perfect. Fine. You don't have to read those fancy books. You can use it as a dumbbells, but not at the initial stage of your preparation. Fine. So there is constantly some set of misnomers or misinformation being spread. So many of you, like, I hope once the class starts, you will start getting attracted to the libraries. There are a lot of libraries in this road. And once you start going to the libraries, I'll tell you what happens. There will be one person will be always sitting in his kiosk or like his cabin. Fine, you feel attracted to him. How this brother sits from morning till evening, the same place. I think he is very... And you will start seeking his gyan. Anna, this subject. What to do? Fine. In classes, like in my subject especially, I'll ask you to start with NCERTs. And there is one book called as Bipin Chandra. I'll ask you to start with that. But when you speak to that person, the senior, he'll tell you, read Spectrum, this fat book. And you will feel like, Sir never told us about Spectrum. Sir is cheating us. You will be fascinated by an unknown person. You will start trusting him. But you don't trust us here. Fine. We know the process. I have cleared the prelims 6 consecutive times. I know how. Fine. I know the process. There are a lot of people here who are like more expertise than me. Listen to those people. Fine. A lot of experienced mentors. Listen to us. Stop believing in those outsiders. Fine. This is the first thing. The second thing is, stop comparing with yourselves. Fine. So when somebody in the class, when they start answering the questions asked by us, you'll feel like, Guru, super maga, you know. What did I do during my graduation? Already odbididane. So you start feeling that way. Avoid comparison. See, you have started your preparation in the month of March. That too for 2023. When somebody in the class starts answering the question, when somebody starts asking the question, I know how it feels, because when I went to Delhi in 2012, I joined October batch and the prelims was in May in the upcoming year. I just had like 6 to 7 months of window. When somebody started asking questions in the class, I know how it feels. Why did I come here? Why did I join? But you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. See, knowledge or common sense, it cannot be filled into the pen drive and indexed into your minds. You have to develop it, and it happens over time. Fine. Nobody can become very intelligent or a topper over the night. There is a movie in Kannada, Kaviratna Kalidasa. In that movie, Kalidasa will be a shepherd. One fine day, at the midnight, Kalika Mata will come. She will write Om on his tongue. From next day, he will become Kalidasa. It won't happen. And many people still believe, sir, you don't know about me. Kalidasa is our ancestor. During degree exam, sir, just like Kalidasa, I have prepared and I have got 70% FCD. And while saying this, chest will go up. They'll start thumping. That is not a great achievement. Fine. I've seen all those things. Fine. It doesn't matter here and it won't happen here. Here, you have to be consistent since day one. Fine. I'll tell you what to do. What should be your routine? What should be the elements of your routine every day? The first thing is about listening to the classes. Whatever subject is happening, just think about that. That should be your world. Just like Sudeep Sir told, if polity is being taught, you should be in the world of polity. Don't think about science and tech when polity is being taught. Don't think about ancient and medieval when polity is being taught. Whatever is being taught, that should be your world. Don't think about something else. Just after the classes are over, go back, read the relevant chapters in NCERT or any basic books, not those big fancy books. Stick to the basics. See, what is the most fundamental part of a building? Foundation. If foundation is not strong, what will happen? If there is, let's say, if there is earthquake, or if there is storm, or if there is severe rainfall, what will happen to the building? See, in UPSC, being thorough with the basics, being thorough with NCERTs is the foundation. Stronger your foundation is, greater chances that you will clear this examination. Don't run behind the fancy books. Fine. Second thing, stop comparing yourself with others. You are unique. You are unique. And UPSC likes uniqueness and originality. Don't try to imitate someone, just like Nikhil Sir told. Don't try to imitate someone, especially toppers. Just like Sudeep Sir told, they are the liars. Some toppers, they say, in interviews, they tend to get emotional and they say, I used to study 26 hours a day. Fine. And some toppers, they try to underplay. I never studied actually, like I just used to read NCERTs and everything happened on its own. 4 to 5 hours a day, that's all. I used to play guitar, I used to play tennis, I used to play hockey. And after that, if there is any time left, I used to cook. They'll tell you that apart from studies, they did everything. Don't fall for these traps. Fine? Never. I have seen toppers. Very good friends of mine, they are in service. I know how they used to study. Fine? Never fall for those things. So, if you study for one day or the day before examination, you cannot end up in the list. Fine? You have to be consistent since the day one. The first thing which you should do is revision of whatever that is being taught in the class. Second thing, every day, before and after the class, there will be 5 prelims question and 1 mains questions that will be given to you. Initially, see, transition is always painful. Transition is always painful. 10th to college, college to graduation, graduation to UPSC. Every transition is painful. Fine? But you have to get adjusted to this. This is the new normal for you. So, I don't care whether you eat or you sleep, but you should write 1 answer a day. It will not take you more than 30 minutes if you start writing now. And as the process goes on, it will just boil down to 10 minutes. Fine? Initially, it will be painful. And again, don't be the judge of yourself. You never learnt ABCD in a single go. Never learned to run in a single attempt. Even this process will take time. It will take time to happen. So, don't judge yourself. I am not writing good answers. Don't show it to your friends and seek their opinions. Fine? Show it to the mentors, show it to the faculties, get it evaluated from them, take their feedback, try to evolve every day. Fine. So by the day of the examination, you should be a refined versions of yourself. Fine. So there are n number of mistakes we tend to commit during our course of preparation. And how to eliminate these mistakes? It's through constant practice. Fine. 5 MCQs and 1 mains question a day should be the part of your routine. And then get familiar, dedicate some time for daily current affairs quiz that is posted on our website. 5 questions. It will hardly take 5 minutes. While you are having breakfast, while you have your lunch, just try to answer them. Fine. So don't worry. Just nobody is going to judge you by the marks. The first test I wrote, there were around 6,000 students in the place where I studied for UPSC. I started looking for my name and I found my name 5,000. My mark negative. Negatives. Not even 0. 0 is fine. But I went on to clear my prelims in the very first attempt. Because I learned from my mistakes. More mistakes you commit now, more opportunities you have to learn and correct yourself. If these mistakes happen on the day of the examination, you have to regret. But it's better, let these mistakes happen now, when you still have an opportunity to correct it. That should be the approach. Fine. Solve the daily class quiz and also daily current affairs quiz that is available in the website. Fine. And then, if you do not understand the basics of the current affairs, like you open the newspaper, the first page, by default, for another 1 week or so, it will be filled with Ukraine. But many of you don't know, why Ukraine, why Russia is trying to invade Ukraine. What is something called as NATO? Many of us might not be knowing this because we are new into this preparation, but you don't have to worry. Go to insightsonindia.com. There, current affairs will be there. And for every current affairs article that we post, we'll try to give a brief background of it. Fine. Once you know the background, you don't have to put your efforts to memorize it. If you try to memorize, you can try, you will be able to remember it for a week. But the prelims is in June of 2023. If you memorize now, you can remember it till April. But prelims is in June. So, waste of time, waste of efforts. It's better you understand. This memorization or rote learning, it will not work for you here. You have to understand the issue. Fine. So, and then, before you go to sleep, make sure you make a list of the topics that you studied since morning. And before you fall to sleep, just try to have that list of topics and try to recall whatever you studied that day. So that by the end of the day, you will feel content that you are able to remember most of the things that you studied since morning. And you will have a sense of confidence that you learned so many things. And you are able to remember so many things. And it will also enhance your concentration. Fine. So revisions, solving questions, writing answer, these things should be the part of your everyday schedule. And for an aspirant, remember, there is no Sunday, there is no Monday. Every day is study day. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new. If you don't know it, don't get scared. It's an opportunity to learn. Enjoy the learning. Don't don't take it in a negative connotation. I don't know this. This is one approach. Guru, I don't know this. They know it. I don't know this. That's a negative approach. I don't know this. It's an opportunity for me to learn. It's better that I got to know about this topic before the examination. Fine. So it's an opportunity for you. Don't always adopt the negative approach. Fine. And the last thing is direction of the preparation. Fine. So let's say you work very hard. You are a fantastic hard worker. you study 16 hours a day, including the classes and all. And you have adopted this routine. ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊ ರಾಜ, ಏಕೆ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಒಳಗೆ ಬಾ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. So, like, let's assume that you followed this routine for over an year. So next year, by the day of prelims, let's say, like, let's assume, like, not about UPSC, let's assume that you are an athlete. You are trained for 16 hours a day. Fine. Next year, on 1st of June, there is an event. You are training for 100-meter race. You are trained very hard. You have not taken rest for a single day. 16 hours a day you are trained. Fine. The world record is around 9.6 seconds for 100 meters. But during your trials, you have found out that you are able to run 100 meters in just 9 seconds. You have worked very hard. As a result of your hard work, you have achieved that. Fine. This is the starting point and that is the ending point. On the day of the event, if you start running in this direction, will you be rewarded? You cover 100 meters in just 8.5 seconds that day. Your performance was wonderful. But still, will you be rewarded? Will you be given the gold medal? Why? Direction. You only focused on working, but you never had a strategy or a direction for your preparation. And how do you get the direction? How do you get the strategy? The strategy, it seems like somewhat fancy, right? Everybody talking about strategy. I don't know what is strategy. What is strategy? India versus Pakistan versus China plus Sri Lanka minus. Everybody is starting about, like, they talk about strategy, right? When you watch the toppers videos or whatever video you watch regarding to civil service preparation, right? They talk about strategy. What is strategy? Let's keep it very simple. I'm not the man for, like, the complex things. I try to keep things very simple. Strategy is about knowing what to do and what not to do. Fine? Things that will help you to clear this examination, things that will distract you. Knowing the difference between these two things is the strategy. Fine? And how do you get to know the strategy? The first thing is following the routine. Second thing, committing the mistakes and learning out of it. Experience is one thing which nobody else can give you. You have to learn out of your own experience. When you commit a mistake, enjoy it. Don't regret, enjoy it. It's an opportunity for you to correct yourself. If you commit a mistake in the examination, it's done and dusted. You can't change it. But now, if you commit one, it's an opportunity for you to correct yourself. Fine? Third thing, we have dedicated mentors to you who are very well experienced with this examination. Talking to them on a regular basis, showing your answers to them, getting their feedback, working on the feedback. Fine? Because they are the ones with experience. They can help you move in a right direction. Rather than talking to some stranger on the road, rather than talking to some unknown persons who are your neighbors in the library, it's better you talk to your neighbors. Mentors, not neighbors. So, I hope you have got, like, plenty of GAN today. Fine? And from now on, you will get the opportunity to implement them as well. It's not about just listening and forgetting it. It's about implementing them. If you want to see some positive things in life, you have to implement what you told. Fine? Once you start implementing them, you will find a lot of practical difficulties. And those practical difficulties will help you to learn a lot of things. Start implementing them. Fine? That is when you should be meeting the faculties and the mentors. Okay? So, all this being said, thank you all. And probably we'll be meeting from Monday. Fine? What is the first thing in your timetable? First subject? You'll be meeting with me. For next 1 month or so, you will be with me. Fine. So, we'll learn a lot of things. Okay. So, thank you all. Thanks to Vinay Sir for giving me this opportunity to greet you all. Fine. Hope you enjoyed the session and learned a few things. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. So I'm not taking any more time. Right. So I think you are all hungry. So I hope all of you enjoyed and got plenty of clarity today. Right. What is tumta? Okay. So wish you all the best, and sorry for you people for making you sit and stand. So next time we'll have 2 batches. So one batch, those who got admission in the beginning, the last few people who got admission will make it a second batch, and we'll start within 10 days. So nothing to worry. But meanwhile, you can still come and attend the classes if you want. So all the best. Happy journey, for this beautiful journey ahead. Thank you so much.